Good morning, everybody. Accidents this school year. We've only had one accident that was chargeable this school year. Somebody cut a corner too tight and nicked the rear end of a pickup truck. This is exceptionally better than last year where we had 15 accidents. So kudos to all of you doing a much better job this year. Important dates, just a quick review of stuff that's going on this month is Tuesday and Thursday. The high school has a new testing that the state has mandated, and so we've got testing this week. It's not likely to happen, but in the event the kids don't come out right on time, don't panic. Like I said, it's a new testing, and the high school has done their best to gauge how long this test will take, but it is possible it will take longer because they've never had to do this one before. If they come out late at all, it'll probably only be, half hour, so I don't think there's going to be anything where it's like a 2-hour delay, but just want you guys to be aware that it is possible they may come out of the school later than what we have down.
And there's no seniors.
Correct. And that is no seniors for that testing. So
Tuesday will just be freshmen and sophomores, and then Thursday will just be juniors.
So don't confuse that with the May testing. There is still testing in May. This is completely different from that testing. Friday is early dismissal day. Yippee! I know everybody loves early dismissal day. April 25th, so not this week, the end of next week, is Geneva-wide garage sales next Friday. So just be aware, that is not the Mill Creek one, that is Geneva-wide. So there are going to be cars all over the city parked where they shouldn't be. So it's going to be tight. If you are in a questionable situation, call in and we will get you out of it. I would rather come out there and get you out of it than somebody bump a car because it was tight.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have school Friday, right?
Correct, but if you have an early dismissal sheet or an early dismissal route,
Yeah.
you should still be in. But yes, there are a lot of schools, a lot of sped schools that do not have school Friday. And then important dates for May, Kendall is emailing those out already, so you guys should have that in your emails. Make sure you're keeping up on that. Dates for startup, we've already talked about those. If you guys need a new sheet, let me know. We'll get you guys one. If you expressed interest in summer school or field trips for this summer, we're going to be doing an email group like we did last year, so you should be getting an email notification that you were added to an email group sometime in the near future. If you are the last one to get coffee or you get coffee and there is very little left in it, please turn off the burner. I don't know how many times I walk out here to go to the bathroom and you can almost smell it from the office and it's just very little coffee sitting in there just burning away.
Yeah.
If it's at the end of routes, there's not many people that are going to come in and get more coffee. Pre-trip mailboxes. I'm sure you guys have noticed the new pre-trip boxes that are over there. Right now, that is just for storage of them so that we could get them out of the wash bay. You do not need to put your pre-trip sheet in there yet. That is just for us for storing them at the moment. Come next year, that will change. If you guys remember, Mary brought this up. I think she brought it up a year ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, that when the parking lot was completed and everybody was here, that everybody would start putting away their own pre-trip sheets. So if you guys don't remember that, so that won't begin you guys putting anything in there until the parking lot project is completed. Which I'm sure you guys all saw this morning that they are tearing up the lot over there and we're very busy over the weekend. So, they
Do you
are.
have a plan for the parking lot, like a layout or anything that you're thinking about how the buses are gonna be parked?
We are working on that still to see how we're going to do it, but basically, at the moment, the plan is that the parking spots that are there currently over here for the drivers are going to be restriped
For buses?
for buses, because those are not wide enough out there. You could fit a bus in one of those, but it is up to your mirrors, and there's no extra space, so parking would be tight, so we're gonna adjust that.
So you have them facing the garages, because it'll be an easier swing?
Yes,
Plus you
that
can see
is the
who's
plan, is that
backing
you would
out.
come up that backside and just angle into your parking spot at the moment.
That's fine, 'cause I'm already having that here.
So I am working with the O&M department to make sure that we've got enough parking lot spots out there to accommodate all the buses.
Are they gonna be numbered?
We have not talked about if they're gonna be numbered yet or not. That's probably not a bad idea considering how many there are, and make it easier to know who goes where,
Yeah.
but that has not been talked about yet. Any other questions on the parking lot?
Still only one entrance? Only one in and out, or?
Correct, right now, it is still just this one entrance over here. They've been trying to fight with the county to let them use, to create another access, but they're not letting us turn that old access into anything.
Because it's too short?
Not sure the details, all I know is they said that was only allowed access for when the railroad company had it, just to go, it's not supposed to be a main drive, and if we start running buses out of it, we have to call it a drive, and it's a whole big ordeal with that one.
Maybe it could just be the employee, like right turn in.
And we talked about that, and the county is still fighting us, so we're working on that one, because it's how close it is to our other entrance, and people turning and everything, so. But we are working on it.
What about Skyward?
That is what Brandy's topic of the day is Skyward.
All right, Brandon.
So, we're trying to get it so that you guys don't have to do the papers anymore. Let's see. Update on our small buses that we ordered. The state bid ones that were supposed to arrive in November have been delayed again. Go figure. So, we had a feeling this would happen, which is why we ordered more small buses through International this year instead of going with the state bid again. So we're not anticipating the state bid buses are going to arrive until probably after July at best, because every time we turn around, there's a new delay for some unknown reason. So we probably won't have any new small buses until end of May, beginning of June. And that's with the buses from International. Lord knows when the state bid ones will get here. Stop arm survey is coming up. That will be Tuesday, April 29th. So not next week, but the following week. We have the sheets for you guys already.
It's actually this.
So if you've not done this before, what this is you take this with you on your route. You just mark down how many vehicles went through in the AM, midday, PM, and if it was front or rear. And then by the beginning of the school year, they send me back the numbers of how many statewide, nationwide flew through stop arms. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so this is, we do it on the 29th, it needs to be turned in the same day, because we have to then turn that over to the county and state the next day.
It's like an exercise in futility.
What do you mean?
Nothing ever happens. We've been doing this for years and nothing ever comes of it.
Well, NHTSA, and, which is the National Highway Safety and Traffic Association, and NASDIPS, which I don't remember their entire acronym because it's ungodly long, but it's another transportation association. They take these numbers and they try and come up with new ways to get it out there. Like one of the new things was it was included in, this was a few years ago, they started adding it into entry-level driver training for high schoolers. It had not been in those books for some years and they finally added it in.
And that's
So it's not necessarily something you guys will see as a change, but they are doing stuff with that information.
What about all these ones that we put in that aren't on that day? I mean, we got people that constantly run them, it's the same people, you write those sheets up, what happened?
We send those over to the police department, and as long as they got all the information they require, which is vehicle, make and model, color, and license plate,
Oh, they haven't got it?
they do what they gotta do with it, but they don't give us that information if they issued a ticket or not.
I mean, I turned one in, there's a
No, I
teacher,
didn't get it.
a teacher that did it. And the car's over there at the parking lot. I can
Don't
show
kick
you
her
right
in the
which one it
shin.
is. A teacher.
That's what Mr. Rogers.
Well, we've talked to the district security, and he started getting their security people more, or trying to get them more involved in dealing with the parents and the kids going through the crossings and, or in between buses. And I don't know if there's been an improvement over at the high school yet, but I know he's working on it.
It's a
Um,
circus over there.
Always is.
Yeah, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
the other day, there was a car, they must have had 9 kids in one car. You know, and they're all having the lights out and go between buses.
Field trips, if you guys haven't noticed yet, Brandy has started assigning them out of the middle school again. It's not just only out of here. We started doing that earlier than normal just because the temperature started to warm up and we're above freezing again. It's springtime, we're starting to get into full swing of field trips, so please make sure you guys are signing up for field trips if you're available.
It's a Saturday.
You're supposed to leave those ones alone.
It's dead. It's been there every meeting I've come to.
Then he's our mascot.
It's always there.
This isn't optional. This form right here is not optional. A handful of you don't do it every year, and we have to find you. I don't wanna have to find you, please. So just fill out the form. Again, if you have nobody passing you on that day, it's a blank form, but at least your name and your bus number is on there, and I know that you did it. I have to send, they know how many buses we have, so I have to send in that form every single year. I've done it since Mary gave it to me 2 years ago, so I need everybody to submit this form. Okay? If you get the license plate, you can go ahead and do that too, and do everything you can, but this report here has to be submitted. So yes, everybody has to do it. Small bus, big bus, minivan, whatever you're driving that day, it has to be done. Well, the minivan doesn't have a stop arm, but you know what I'm saying. We all have to do it. I can pause.
Before she gets started, does anybody have questions on anything?
Sorry.
Does anybody have any other questions? No? All right, I'll pass it over to Brandy then.
If you were all excited for a TED Talk, it's not happening today.
Darn.
I was sick over the weekend, so. But Jeff, you had a question. What happens when we send those forms over with the license plate and things like that? This is the law for Illinois. What happens beyond that point, I don't know. We email it to Geneva Police Department, and they go with that information. They've never come back to me and asked me for videos. Not that there's much on there, but again, if they get the make, model, color, whatever, we can do that. I've had calls made out to them where I've asked police officers to be stationed at some of the stops if it's one that's been numerous times. Okay, so again, I don't know what happens beyond that point. I don't work for them. They don't always give us information or feedback on if they caught somebody or not. But with that being said, this is the law for Illinois. So the penalties and everything like that, I found this.
I see the school bus. You know, school bus with the lights on, with that stop sign on, doing the remoting and unloading kids. You know that this is not good. This is not a ticket that you want to have. But what's going to happen? What's going to happen in court and what are the penalties? How will this affect you? Let's dive into that right now.
That's the way the kids are.
Hi, I'm Derek Munn, the Driver Defense Team, and we represent a lot of people with traffic tickets in the Chicagoland area. And so let's dive into passing a school bus traffic ticket. But first I want to tell you a story. A gentleman gave me a call a while back, a very nice gentleman in his 60s. He was a doctor, actually, a doctor at a very prominent hospital here in the Chicagoland area, and he had a problem. He just recently gotten this traffic ticket for passing the school bus, said he had a perfect record, said he hasn't been in any trouble with it before, he's obviously a bright man. He went to court to take care of this ticket. They told him, you know what, no problem, I understand accidents happen, we're gonna give you the minimums. So he agreed to the minimums, he had a $400 or $500 fine to pay, he paid it, and he was on his way. Thought this was a mistake.
There's DIY, and there's doing it yourself.
I did not.
He received a letter from the Illinois Secretary of State a few weeks later saying his license is now going to be suspended for 3 months. He called me very upset, he had no idea. And this would obviously be a major disruption for his life. He's a doctor, he has to get to work every day and help people. So that's the problem that we had to solve for him, and we did, and I'll tell you about that later. The point is, that's not where you want to be. The point is that this ticket can cause that problem, and you don't want to deal with it after the fact. You want to deal with it on the front end, right when you get the ticket. And so let's talk about how we're going to deal with a ticket like this. First things first, what constitutes a violation? Well, first, what does the bus driver have to do? The bus driver is required to turn on the yellow, the amber lights a few hundred feet before the stop. Then they make the stop, then they're required to turn on the red lights, the red flashing lights, and then they're required to open that stop sign on. And so when you see those red flashing lights and that stop sign on, you, the driver, are required to stop. Stop where you're at. You cannot continue past that vehicle. So the problem often is, when you're approaching this vehicle and these red lights and the stop sign aren't come on, are you supposed to stop? Should you hurry through? What if you're in the middle of passing the bus at that time? And that's what a lot of our clients say happened when they were stopped and received this ticket. It's an honest mistake oftentimes. So when you see that red light, when you see that stop sign on, you're required to stop and not proceed any further. That is true on a 2-lane road. 1 lane that direction, 1 lane the other direction. That's the most common. Both directions of travel are required to stop. Same thing if it's a 1-way. All traffic must stop if it's a 1-way street. However, when it's a 4-lane or more, in other words, 2 in one direction, 2 in the other direction, then only the vehicles on the same side of the bus have to stop. If it's a 4-lane highway and you're in one of the 2 lanes traveling in the opposite direction, you do not need to stop. That's what the law requires. Interestingly, unlike many other tickets, this applies to not just the highways and the roadways, but pretty much everywhere. This applies to even parking lots, which you can certainly see happen in a school parking lot or something like that. You are required to follow the rule even in a location like that. You are allowed to resume once the bus either begins motion again, turns off that red light and closes that arm, or if the bus driver signals you, waves you through to go. One of those 3 things must occur before you are allowed to proceed. And so what are the penalties for passing a school bus? Well, the penalties can be pretty harsh. Now, this is a traffic ticket. Do not mistake it for a criminal ticket. It is not a criminal offense to simply pass the school bus. It's a traffic ticket, but it is a harsh traffic ticket. And it has more severe penalties than your average traffic ticket. The first issue is the minimum fine. If this is your first offense for passing the school bus, then the minimum fine is $300. If this is your second offense within 5 years, then the minimum fine is $1,000. And in both of these instances, they're going to add court costs. Court costs range, depending on the location, from about $250 to even $350. So when we discuss penalties, the first thing we need to talk about is the fact that there is no court supervision permitted for this type of ticket. And what does that mean?
With Walmart, cover your CLE standard extra practice. Try Walmart for free today.
Court supervision is an agreement between you or your lawyer and the court. And that agreement is for you to complete something. Usually you pay some fines and fees, complete a course, something like that. And then at the end of that term, you do not get a conviction on your record if you've completed court security properly. Well, court supervision is not allowed in this. So that means it's all or nothing. You're either guilty or not guilty. You're either going to get a conviction or not a conviction. And a conviction can seriously affect you. For starters, it's going to suspend your license. So if this is your first offense and you get a conviction, then your license will be suspended for 3 months. If this is your second offense within 5 years and you get a conviction, your license is going to be suspended for 1 year. So obviously, you want to avoid a conviction. Second of all, there's minimum fines. Many traffic tickets do not have minimum fines. This one does, and it's high. The minimum fine for a first offense is $300 plus court costs, which are usually about $250. So right there, you're at $500 and something for your first offense. This is your second offense within 5 years, and you're looking at $1,000 fine. So now you're over $1,200 in fines and fees for this offense. Plus, like we talked about, there is a suspension of your license. So what are we going to do to avoid that conviction? Well, this type of ticket requires that you appear in court. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean
We don't need to watch how to get out of it. We just don't want them to do it at all.
We don't care because we're in the box, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the whole idea is if you see somebody and you can get that license plate, that's the most important thing, and we do report them. We don't hold it in the office, we don't keep it from them, we do report it to the police department, okay? So there are convictions, do we know of them? I don't. We never get notified, okay? I watch videos all weekend though, and we're not the only ones, it happens everywhere. I know that I've talked to Matt, and we're trying to get the cameras onto the stop signs, but without doing that, I can't really get a clear view of those.
That would be the
So until we can get those, we just have to kind of keep going with say the license plate over the radio, we can get them resubmitted and things like that, so. Any questions? I don't think there's gonna be any questions on that one. Skyward. I know last week, Mike, the director of technology, emailed everybody, said that Skyward is live. Skyward is live, but Skyward is not live to us to clock in and clock out. That's why we're continuing to clock in on those sheets this week. But starting on Monday, it will be live. So we need to talk about it and learn how to clock in and clock out on the phones, because it would be, time clocks are gone. So time clocks will not be up moving forward. So that's why they need you to download, you're gonna delete the current Skyward first, and then re-download it, okay? It's the exact same one, it's just that when you re-download, it's going to look different. There's different ways you can get on, but again, the app is what we want to focus on, because the app is what's going to get you to clock in and clock out moving forward. If you do not have a smartphone, and we do know that some of you don't have smartphones, they are coming up with another way for you to clock in and clock out, but it's not going to be a time clock. It's going to be something done with that first computer, it's going to be a kiosk or something, and that is how you're going to be able to clock in and clock out. I don't have more information on that right now. All I know is that for Skyward, you'll be clocking in and out on your phone moving forward. Okay, so starting Monday, we have to get your phones uploaded with the new app and things like that. So, if you have your phones, we can do this right now. So, get your phones, delete the current Skyward app, and then re-download the new one. Well, it's the same one.
Is that the Skyward?
Where do we get it?
Correct.
Uninstall?
How do we get it?
Yes, you're gonna uninstall, you're gonna delete it, don't just
Put
log
your
out.
finger on it till
Delete
it
from your
shakes,
phone.
and then it'll tell you you can delete it.
Yeah, do you have an iPhone?
When you open up the new Skyward, this is
Oh,
what
you
it
don't
would
have
look
I don't
like.
have it, period.
Oh, he doesn't even have it.
Oh, you need to download it.
Yeah, how do I download
Do you
Go
have,
into
do you
your
have an
app store.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone?
iPhone, you wanna go to your Apple Store?
Go to your
You
app
want an
store.
App Store?
Yeah.
And you wanna download it from the App Store.
Oh, it would be just called Skyward.
Yep.
If there's no code for your store.
I'm gonna talk to you about it. So as soon as you download it, I'm gonna tell you how to log back into it. Yes.
Mine is storing it in the cloud, so like it's got got the little cloud.
Mine, that was fine, still good. It still works, yep.
Just touch it, it'll come on.
I just wanna make sure it wasn't like a.
Oh, putting the same one on.
You're good.
Yeah, so, yeah, if it downloads it, yeah, so.
It doesn't revert. She said it didn't revert till Bobby and Dale.
I'm sorry, so it's on Monday?
So if I go to.
Did you get it, Donna?
Well, I'm redoing it.
Yeah. Oh, do you have an iPhone? Oh, they always tell you to take it from the App Store. Yeah, okay, then you're fine.
What's easier?
How did you get that though? Mine doesn't have that.
It's going to look like the exact same one, but when you open it, it will not be the same one. It's going to look like this.
Now, so I will use our same code.
You are going to use your exact same code. But, yes, you want, so you want to go to your postal code? Yeah, and, yeah, you want to go to the postal code, and you want to do Geneva's postal code.
So I didn't do that, I just put Geneva in and it popped up 304.
Oh, yeah, so back in June.
Oh, I'm here.
What's our postal code?
60134.
Yeah.
Delete the field.
Wow, did it put you into this? Yeah, so you gotta enter all that in.
Put your,
Yeah, yeah. Do it.
So you put Hebron and you put you have your email address.
Yeah, Geneva304.org. Did you put, what is it, you put in your name, is it at Geneva 304?
I'm sure if you need to add to Geneva 304,
.org
yeah,
or just.
no, .org.
If you get to the postal code, you don't want to do the name, you don't want to do the other one, you want to do postal code 60134.
I put in the name.
And then you want to log in and the bottom, so postal code?
Oh, yeah, take that off and just put in a postal code.
Yeah, that's exactly what I keep saying.
Yep, and it's 60,
134.
okay.
Your Geneva email, yes.
So then you're gonna touch the Geneva cities.
Yeah, okay, and then this one comes up again. Yeah,
Mine doesn't, mine's 60134, mine says no
Get rid of the
organizations
field for
matches.
there.
did you get it?
Oh, no, you're right, actually, yeah. Bingo. Oh, no, I thought you were, I can't remember. I have to ask.
So, is it your, so, did you put in that 304?
So is the username the same?
Well, I would think so, but it's not recognized.
You need to put up the
Remember last year when we did this, you did not log in from the top? You logged in at the bottom where it says that's your email address.
Say that again. Wait, come back.
And you have to go over here. You have frozen too. You just put no, see, I can fill any of that out. See all that, go down here and
Say that again, Maria. I didn't hear you.
all that.
Okay. Do I just put it?
If all this, go to the bottom, email address.
She said not to fill out any ask.
So you're not supposed to fill out anything, like your email address, your name and all that, you're supposed to go all the way down to below the org.
Where it says sign in with Microsoft.
That one right there.
Description is what?
Randy, it says
launch site.
When you go to and sign it, or it's just that information required.
Okay, so here, did you see, you go down, you're down to this, you don't pull that out. You go down to the bottom.
Email your password.
Here, no, just put in your email address.
Email
Hold
address.
on.
Skyward
Wait,
Employee.
wait.
Your, last name, at Geneva.
Okay, did you put the postal code? No. Yeah, see, you gotta go, it's, so. Right, that's how you put it in. And then,
That's a postal code for you.
yes, for the Geneva. Okay, so you put that in. I don't know your phone better. How do you enter it?
Yep.
Enter.
Authenticator? Yep.
Did you enter? Okay.
Does it go up and say enter on?
Okay, then you put in the postal code, and then it's the Geneva School District 304. There you go. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, let me just ask her a question.
Now it's gonna send you a text or a phone call.
That's why we're doing pay for this one. Figure everything out. Yep. I found it, yep. Email address. Yes, email address right here, and then hit send.
Okay, got that?
Can't you get to the clock and get my email?
Prices of iPhones going up, man.
Alright, hold on. Excuse me, if you guys, so when you downloaded the Authenticator app, okay, so depending on how you set that program up, if it gave you two numbers, you're so focused on those two numbers that actually there's a drop window that says click here to enter those two numbers. Otherwise, you have to go back into the Authenticator app, enter those numbers, and then go back into Skyward. Or, if you set up your Authenticator through a text message, you wouldn't get those numbers. So depending on how you did the Authenticator, that's how you're gonna be able to open these apps.
Did you get it? Sure did.
It's a nice format too.
Oh, is that good?
So now can I sign in with Microsoft? Is that what I do?
Well, that's what I was wondering. So then.
Everything got that.
So it says sign in. So you're signing in with your phone? Or are you gonna send it with your email address?
Okay, so let me go through what the new Skyward looks like. If you need help with the app, we'll figure it out. Okay?
Okay.
But,
And quick question though.
Yes.
Where it says sign in, do we have to put email or can we put our phone number? Because it says email, phone, or Skype.
so they're probably asking you to authenticate. Have your phone number. Or not your phone number, sorry, your email.
Okay, perfect.
You're always going to use your Gmail, your Geneva email address.
All right, thank you.
When you open the app will look just like this. Okay, just like this, your app is gonna look the exact same way. And there's an icon right here. It says clock in and clock out. This is what you're going to use every day to clock in and clock out. They're still working on finalizing the clock in and clock out for all of us. Okay, I'll wait till everybody's ready to listen because I don't want to go through this part all over.
I don't blame you.
I can help you figure out the apps. Everybody has different things and where their steps are at. That's why he sent it last week. So if you guys wanted to delete it, download it, and start all over again, I did the exact same thing you guys are doing. I went step by step trying to figure it out before I did. I did take pictures of each step, so I can put that into a spreadsheet like I did last year.
Email.
Thank you. So I can put it in an email and do step by step. Nick got it, therefore everybody else should get it. We should get it. Okay, we got it. But you're gonna get this clock in and clock out. It's going to give you the code. It'll have, it's not gonna have as many as before, but there's gonna be about 9 codes that you can possibly clock in and clock in as. And then you clock in. So this is the clock in and clock out. You're gonna do everything right here. I will have more information on the clock in and clock out on Wednesday when I get trained. Okay?
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday, they are training me and
Oh, this
Kendall.
Wednesday.
On this Wednesday, they are training me and Kendall. At that point, I will have step by step on how to do it. I will put it in a spreadsheet and I will send it to all of you before Friday, because on Monday, we will be clocking in and out through this app. Okay? Other things you have to do in this app, if you need to update your phone number, your address, anything like that, this is where you're going to. You're not gonna come to me, you're not gonna come to Kendall. You're going to go exactly to your app, open the web browser. So you have 2 options, app and browser. Open the browser, you'll see this, go to employee profile. You're gonna edit it and then submit it. And yes, as we go through here, you'll see all my personal information, sorry. This is my account. Okay? Any of your assignments, they will be in here. Your paycheck history, I'm not gonna click it because again, it's my personal information. I'm not sharing that, sorry, Nick.
What about, so you said assignments, are you saying field trips?
No, assignments meaning your assignment to driver. You're a driver, I'm an assistant director.
Got it.
They're
Like the
monitors,
job
it's your job description, okay? Payroll history, you can click on that, same thing as the other one. Click on the check number and you can get your pay stubs. So if you're going to get a car, going to get a loan, and you need your pay stubs, this is where you have to go. Okay? W-2s also. W-2s, you go here. Just print off your W-2s. Again, I'm not clicking on it. But again, you go to W-2s. If you need to update your W-2, that's a different form. So if anybody is looking to update their W-4s, federal or Illinois, we printed off extra forms. They're in the front window by Kelly. You guys can fill those out and then return them back to us, and we'll drop them off over. We'll get them sent over to HR, payroll. Okay?
Okay.
I know a lot of people have been talking about it, so I printed off a whole bunch. If you need them to update, go ahead and do that. But your W-2s will be fine here. Sorry, found. The request time off. It's still not going to be used by us. Okay? They have this in here for everybody else in the district, but transportation will continue to use the time off request by writing a form and submitting it to Kelly. If you submit it on Skyward, we will not see it, we will not know you were asking for time off. Okay? So time off requests are all done on paper with Kelly, old school still. We're not doing anything in the app for that one. Okay?
Are we submitting our timesheets in the clock in and out?
Correct. So if you were to go, so if I go to my time off right here, sorry, time tracking, it says right here, clock in, clock out, my schedule, and yes, we have to re-enter everybody's schedule. They won't switch everything over. So when you log in next week, it will not be in there right away. Kendall and I will have to start entering them next week once we have access to that, okay? So the schedules won't be in there until later. Yes?
So back to payrolls, I just looked, what my check's in here,
Good.
how do you get to the stub?
You gotta click on it. Click on the check number.
Yeah, it did. Nothing happens.
Okay, then
Maybe it's not
I will
ready
help
yet.
you. Well, I went into it last week and it went in. But again, I'm not going to click on my pay stub. Here, right here, unsubmitted timesheets. So same thing, I would go in here just like we were doing on the time clock, and you can submit your time from your sheet. Yeah. Time tracking. Here you go. You do these things right here. Any questions on what you would use Skyward for? Most of you guys go here for your W-2s, on is the clock in and clock out. I tried getting them to get everything done before this week so that I could do this with you, but they wanted you guys all to come in later this week. So I said, train me and I will train all of you. I will learn it, I will put it in a spreadsheet and get step by step and how to do it starting on Monday. So this week we will continue to clock in, sign in and sign out on those sheets. For those who are doing early dismissals on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, just use your midday, the midday section to clock in for your high school route. Any questions on that? Correct. Any other questions about Skyward?
Sorry, I
Any
didn't
questions,
hear.
let it go.
We went over our time and national rate.
Hold on, they're talking in the middle and I can't hear you.
I missed, it was the late, over our time, we still write those sheets.
Yes, we will always continue with discrepancies. We will never get rid of the discrepancies. We need to know why, well, unless you want us to take the time away. I mean,
I didn't know if we had done this.
Well, there is a comment area on this, but no.
But that's just for.
I will ask them when I do train on Wednesday about that, but otherwise, no discrepancies. Okay? Since you're all here, half of you, I do have 2 high school routes that I will be bidding out. I have 2 drivers who can't make that early dismissal in high school, so look for that email today. I need 2 drivers to do 8 and 21. So if you're available to do a high school route this week, Tuesday and Thursday, again, bid on it. I'm just letting you guys know since you're happy you were here. Okay? I don't know who it starts with. I was just giving you a heads up since after you were here. Okay? Any questions? Okay, Friday, look for email for Skyward and how to clock in and clock out. Okay? You guys can explore it, see what you guys can find. If you have questions, let me know. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I almost forgot. Next month, May, our next safety meeting, it will not be a TED talk. It will not be me talking. It's going to be IMRF. So we have IMRF coming in next month, both days. So if you could do me a favor, any questions you have in advance, if you can send them to me at least a week before. So let's just say April 30th. Okay, Wednesday, April 30th. If you can send me all your questions, then I can email her, submit them so she can get the answers beforehand, so we don't get the, I don't know, let me find out, because when you call there, you can't.
Just how to log in.
Pardon me?
Yeah, her teach us how to log in, because there's a lot of new drivers.
Yep.
How to manipulate
Those
their
are one of the
site.
things I can ask, yes.
You know, we can start right,
So,
boom.
again, she's just coming in here for more information, giving us whatever we want, because I don't have all the answers for everything for IMRF. So, again, so next month, we will have IMRF questions, so let me know anything by April 30th, please. Okay. Anything else? If you're having issues with the app, come see me, I'll work with you one-on-one. I'll try to get the step-by-steps emailed out again to log in, okay? Oh, man, that's not 15 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, Nick.
He's rushing you.
All right. No, you guys are good. You're good to go. It's just Skyward, so. Look for the email.
Okay, thank you.
If you're not, you can't log in, stay. I will help you. Nick got it, so we're good.